In this video series, I'm exploring Robert B. Cialdini's 6 Principles of Persuasion, and today we're talking about commitment and consistency. The topic can be boiled down to these 2 statements. 1. Once we commit to an action, we're not very likely to back out and say no. And 2. We favour consistency in our decision making. These 2 statements can be used in pretty creative ways to persuade people. For a lot of seasonal businesses, sales can be feast or famine, and this is particularly prominent around the holiday season. Shoppers flock for a few weeks around Christmas and then disappear for months. Cialdini demonstrates how commitment and consistency are used by toy shops in an anecdote he describes about meeting an old neighbour in the same shop every year in January. In the months leading up to Christmas, toy makers advertise their most shiny, exciting and desirable toys between cartoons on TV. The children watching these ads are easily swayed and beg for these amazing playthings for Christmas, which their parents promise to get. The toy makers then purposefully undersupply the shops, forcing parents to substitute the desired toys for something else. Finally, in January, more advertisements are run, reminding the kids who inevitably bother their parents, who are now forced to purchase the original toy because they promised. So the draw of commitment can be really hard to avoid, and it's not just toy shops that make use of it. Earlier this week I visited Amsterdam and I decided to go to one of the city's museums. After a 25-minute wait, I finally got up and I discovered that admission would cost me €17. Now that mightn't seem like much, but it was way out of my budget, and it took a lot to turn around and say no, especially after such a long wait. It was on my way out of the museum that I discovered that the actual admission price wasn't on display anywhere. It was only after you've been in the queue for a number of minutes that you could see what the actual price was, at which point you're committed to going to the museum. Anyway, after that I went down the road and I went to a much more reasonably priced museum and I got a cup of coffee and a sandwich for the same price. So how can commitment and consistency be used online today? 1. Social media subscriptions. When was the last time you unsubscribed from somebody on YouTube? Once a person subscribes to a YouTube channel, the barrier to entry for that person watching a video on that channel, it drops dramatically. Also, the quality that is perceived as acceptable also drops dramatically, so people are much more likely to watch your videos. The same effect can be seen on Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and any other social media platform. It's a powerful tool that can be used to help engage your users and make them feel invested in your service. 2 is extra charges. Have you ever tried to purchase something online and then realize that the postage is about twice the price of the item? Now, did you cancel that order or did you rationalize it and just click buy now? Ticketmaster takes this to a whole other extreme with their convenience fees, and they demonstrate what we'll put up with once we've committed to purchasing an item. 3 is incremental price hikes. It seems like every year Spotify, Netflix and my internet service provider increase their subscription fee by just a few euros. Here in Ireland, the cost of car insurance can vary by hundreds of euros every year, and very few people actively look for a better deal. Meanwhile, insurance companies are making a profit on the unfair price difference. 4 is platform jargon. Even if you do manage to find a better deal, it can often be very difficult to change over to a new platform. In software, many platforms use their own terms for common tools or tasks. Take cloud hosting companies for example. A droplet on DigitalOcean, an instance on AWS, or a virtual machine on Azure all refer to the same things, a virtual server. And even then, the specifications between suppliers don't quite match up. This can make vendor lock-in a serious problem for startups, where a supplier that might be cheap at low scale doesn't scale up and leaves you with huge costs down the line. Thanks for for watching this video. This is the second in a series of videos exploring the 6 principles of persuasion and how they can be used on the internet today. Check out my last video, which was on social proof, and if you'd like to see more, click the subscribe button and the little notification icon so you get a notification when my next video on social proof comes out. Thanks for watching.